And even a child was severely injured in Idaho after his dog went after one of those sodium cyanide baits. Backing up a bit so your listeners understand how this agency functions, it's generally at the county level that the county contracts with USDA Wildlife Services. The incentive is that the federal government will match a often 50-50 split. So the county will put in, let's say, $50,000 towards paying a federal trapper and subsidizing his tools, his snares, his leg hold traps, his poisons, aerial gunning, if it's in a county that allows that. And then the feds match that. So it's a very incentivized program, and they, become a bit dependent on this agency. So we started looking at all the different counties that were contracting and looking at where there are opportunities to make inroads as we did in Marin County. So Sonoma County subsequently was challenged. And the legal challenge, I will say, is under the California Environmental Quality Act. So our coalition worked together to challenge that the contract did not meet the CEQA minimum guidelines to look at impacts on the environment and site-specific impacts, also on non-target animals. So we prevailed with that legal argument in several counties, and at least 5 counties now in California have either ended their contract or shifted to an alternative program. I will also say that part of our coalition effort has been to challenge at a state level that CEQA and the National Environmental Policy Act, which is the national standard, and then the California Environmental Quality Act is the state-leveled standard, on having to have an agency with a contract meet certain environmental criteria. So we've used litigation to challenge this at a local and a state level. And then at a federal level, there are efforts to specifically go after some of the tools that this agency relies on, such as M44s, which is another type of poison similar to that compound 1080. M44s are filled with a deadly poison called sodium cyanide. They're used in something called known as a coyote getter that is generally baited. And the idea is it's stuck in the ground, baited, and then the coyote or other animal pulls up on that, what we call cyanide bomb. And then the sodium cyanide is released into the animal's mouth. But as has been demonstrated, not target specific. Any animal, including companion animals, dogs, have been known every year in their data. We pull out all the non-target animals that have been killed. So, people's companion animals. And even a child was severely injured in Idaho after his dog went after one of those sodium cyanide baits. His dog started instantly convulsing. It's very quick acting. Dog was convulsing. This poor young boy is watching his dog suffer. And he, in turn, ingests some of that sodium cyanide. His parents decide to make a big issue of this, rightfully so. And ultimately, that did lead to a ban of M44s in Idaho, where this took place. And now there are efforts to permanently ban M44s and, of course, bring wider attention to the agency behind use of these deadly practices.
Who is mainly behind this? It's not the general population, right? Mostly it's farming, cattle.
Big ag. So I will say it's big agriculture, meat and dairy ranchers. When you really start to trace some of the historical financial support behind this agency, you start to recognize how powerful big ag is. So many of our conflicts in the U.S. between predators and livestock.
And the rest of the world, too.
And the rest of the world, absolutely. It's certainly not unique to the U.S., but what is, rather unique is this agency that has been around to control wildlife, which again generally means killing with indiscriminate tools. And we trace that to the power of big ag in this country.